The death penalty must be banned for the following reasons. First, our standing arguments still remain that human rights are violated under the death penalty. The death penalty does not deter crime, and it is a flawed system causing innocent people to die. First, according to Judge Scalia, the death penalty does not deter murder or even prevent crimes. According to Justice Stevens, the death penalty promotes none of the purposes of criminal punishment because it neither prevents more crimes than alternative measures nor serves a retributive purpose. He argues that the recent rise in statutes providing for life imprisonment without the possibility of parole means that states have a ready alternative to the death penalty. Moreover, despite 30 years of empirical research in the area, there remains no reliable statistical evidence that capital punishment in fact deters murder. The death penalty violates human rights, according to Amnesty International. When such an arbitrary and fallible justice system renders a decision as final and irrevocable as the taking of human life, the whole society and its citizens are diminished. In country after country, it is disproportionately used against the poor and against racial or ethnic minorities. It is also used as a tool of political repression. It is imposed and inflicted arbitrarily. It is an irrevocable punishment, resulting inevitably in the execution of people innocent of any crime. It is a violation of fundamental human rights, said by Christine Watkins of Amnesty International. Secondly, on the subject of human rights, according to the United Nations, when the world's nations came together in 1945 to found the United Nations, a few reminders were needed of what could happen when a state believed that there was no limit to what it might do to a human being. A staggering extent of state brutality and terror during World War II and the consequences for people throughout the world were still unfolding in December 1948, when the UN General Assembly adopted without dissent the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The Universal Declaration is a pledge among nations to promote fundamental rights as the foundation of freedom, justice, and peace. The rights it proclaims are inherent in every human being. These are not privileges that may be granted by governments for good behavior, and they may not be withdrawn for bad behavior. Fundamental human rights limit what a state may do to a man, woman, or child. The Universal Declaration recognizes each person's right to life and categorically states further that no one shall be subjected to torture or cruel, inhumane, or degrading treatment or punishment. In Amnesty International's view, the death penalty violates these rights. And again, this is an excerpt from Amnesty International in regard to the UN interpretation on the on the death penalty. Lastly, the death penalty should be banned because it's a flawed system and has caused innocent people to be executed. Whatever one's view of retribution argument may be, the practice of death penalty reveals that no criminal justice system is or conceivably could be capable of deciding fairly, consistently, and infallibly who should live and who should die. Again, this is from Amnesty International, from the article, "The Death Penalty Should Be Abolished," by David Haugen and Susan Musser. The quote continues that all criminal justice systems are vulnerable to discrimination and error. The reality of the death penalty is what determines who shall be executed and who shall be spared is often only nature of the crimes, but also the ethic and social background of the financial means or the political opinions of the defendant. Whether executions take place within hours of summary trial or after years of practiced legal proceedings, states will continue to execute people who are later found to be innocent. Those executed cannot be compensated for the loss of life, and the whole society must share responsibility for what has been done. For these reasons, I believe that the death penalty should be banned and that the affirmative should prevail. Thank you.